Hi, we're doing a presentation on hemp fiber by Ashley, Brittany, and Pearl.
Today we will be talking a little bit more about hemp, its fiber structure, and its relation to the textile industry. So, hemp is also known as cannabis sativa or C. indica. There are more than 20 varieties of hemp. Hemp is often similar to flax, however, the fibers are longer, coarser, and stiffer. Hemp comes from plants that are stalks. These stalks can be anywhere from 3 to 15 feet tall. The fibers can make up about 3.5% of the stalk, and the fiber bundles, which are in the inner bark, can make up 15 to 35 bundles per stalk. Stalk has two parts. It has the hurd, which is the wood core, and it has the bast fibers. The hurd is often used to make insulation, mulch, fuel, and paper, while the fiber is used more towards rope, plastics, and the textile industry. Now let's talk a little bit more about the fiber structure. The degree of polymerization for hemp is between 2200 and 4800. You'll notice that the structure of the fiber has an uneven diameter with joins and striations, but cross-sectional it is polygonal with a rounded edge. The chemical makeup of hemp is 77.5% cellulose, 10% hemicellulose, 6.8% linen, 2.9% pectin, 0.9% fat and wax, and 1.8% water-soluble materials. As you can tell from the picture, the fiber itself is quite straight, along with little uneven striations here and there. However, the tip of the fiber does have that polygonal shape with a rounded edge. It's not super straight. It has little uneven um, fibers here and there. Now let's talk a little bit more about hemp fiber properties in regards to cotton. Hemp's biggest competition is cotton, and it's consistently being compared to cotton. So let's talk a little bit more about its moisture absorption, desorption, and wicking height first. Hemp's moisture absorption rate is 2.18 milligrams per minute, while cotton is 1.33 milligrams per minute. Its desorption rate is 4.40 mils per minute, while cotton's is 2.37. Their wicking height per 1 minute, hemp is at 32, while cotton is at 26. Hemp has a very high tenacity, while cotton has a medium tenacity. They both have low breaking elongations. However, hemp is between 1 and 6%, while cotton is between 6 and 9%. Hemp has very high abrasion resistance, while cotton has low abrasion resistance, as well as hemp has high flexibility, while cotton has low flexibility. Hemp also has high toughness, while cotton has low toughness. Both hemp and cotton have low resilience. Hemp also has high luster, while cotton has low luster. Now, in regards to maintenance, hemp dissolves in hot concentrated alkalis, and cold alkalis mercurize it. It does soften with washing. Hemp is an antimicrobial. It is UV resistant, and it is naturally resistant to mold and mildew. When introduced to fire, it does scorch and burn. Overall, hemp seems like the winner. Hemp is softer, warmer, more water resistant, and more durable. In fact, 1 acre of hemp is equal to 2 acres of cotton. It can produce 250% more fibers than cotton. Hemp requires no pesticides, while cotton requires high amounts of pesticides. Growing cotton can leave the earth scorched and leave polluted waters behind. Even organic alternatives of cotton do not stand up to hemp. Hemp seems like the clear winner.
History of hemp. Rope, not dope. Hemp originated from Central Asia and has been cultivated since 6500 BC in China. The Scythians introduced it to Asia Minor at around 1500 BC. Later on, it was introduced to Europe and Africa. Hemp was used to make the first paper. It was among one of the most important fiber crops in Europe from the 16th to the 18th century. Hemp is a member of the mulberry family. It can be classified as cannabis sativa or cannabis indica. Industrial hemp contains less than 0.03% THC, while marijuana can contain up to 20% THC. History of hemp continued. In 1937, the Marijuana Tax Act was passed in an attempt to stop the use of the drug variety. Growers of hemp now needed to be registered and have a license. Growers and distributors would now be taxed. An international version of the Marijuana Tax Act was also passed that prohibited the growth of marijuana but allowed the growth of industrial hemp. The very useful industrial hemp. Hemp cultivation requires no chemicals, pesticides, or herbicides. Hemp is a resource. It takes 20 years for trees to mature versus 4 months for hemp. Hemp can yield 3 to 8 dry tons of fiber per acre, 4 times what an average forest can yield. All parts of the plant are being used or put back into the earth.
Hemp was once the most cultivated fiber. In the U.S., from 1776 to 1937, it was a major crop. It was with the criminalization of hemp that its usage declined in the U.S. and elsewhere. Usage did pick up, usage in production, around the late 80s, early 90s. It was originally used for paper, rope, twine, corded sailcloth, and clothing. Today it still retains those uses, although a number of fibers have come to replace it, especially linen and cotton. Hemp's resistance to mildew and saltwater damage, as well as its general durability, have allowed it to endure as a useful fiber, but its criminalization still makes it difficult for its market share to improve. In addition to fibers, the hemp plant produces chemicals for medicines, hemp oil, and waste that can be converted to viscose rayon. Its other products include things like hempcrete, protein supplements, and, a variety of textile applications, not all having to do with things like purses and clothing. It also has usage in the automotive field due to its durability and long-lasting span. Hemp is now used for a variety of textiles since it's durable, more environmentally friendly than cotton, efficient in production, and versatile. It's a hardy, frost-resistant plant, so it's easy to grow. It produces a lot per acre. It produces 700 pounds of grain, which can be used for oil and seeds, and 5,300 pounds of straw, which can be converted to 1,300 pounds of fiber. It is 200 to 300% more productive per acre than cotton is. And though this is true, it is still very small when it comes to the total market. In 2013, its total retail value was only $581 million. This includes all food and body products, clothing, auto parts, building materials, etc. Its usage is slowly growing with new technologies that allow it to be used for paper and things like hempcrete, but there's still a lot of resistance toward expanding its usage. Here are some examples of clothing made with hemp. There's a hemp hoodie, hemp jeans, hemp skirts, and a hemp dress. Hemp feels much like linen, although it can be rougher on the skin because of the coarse fibers, and it has very low resistance. It needs to be ironed often. It softens with washing, so it'll start out stiffer and end up more comfortable and soft by the end of its life cycle. Here are some other hemp products. There are some food products. Hemp is also used for protein supplements, so there are some examples there. Hemp seed is good for you. Hemp oil is healthy as well, although it will go rancid if it's not stored properly. Hemp can be used in apparel such as shoes. It's still used for things like rope because it's got a lot of durability. And it is very useful for paper because it grows quickly and it produces more cellulose per unit than trees do. Maintenance. Hemp is a very low maintenance fiber. It's durable and it stands up to high temperatures and hard washes very well. It starts out much like linen with a crisp hand. It's rather stiff, sometimes pretty coarse, but it softens with laundering, so by the end of its cycle it's more like cotton. There are soaps to help this process along and make it more comfortable. It is stronger wet when dry, so unlike rayon, you don't have to worry about it stretching out of shape or being damaged by washes. Bleach will damage fabrics. Because it is a cellulosic fiber, one must be very careful when bleaching it because bleaching will most likely weaken the fiber. It handles high washing temperatures and high ironing temperatures very well, although it's best to iron hot while the fabric is damp, and iron on the wrong side so as to avoid damaging any fibers interwoven with it or pigments on the fabric. Hemp is moth-proof, but in comparison to protein fibers, it is somewhat vulnerable to mildew. As a cellulosic fiber, though, it is very highly resistant. Companies that produce hemp are Pickering International, which runs Hemp Traders, the largest distributor of hemp in the U.S., if not the world. It was established in 1993, and its website, hemptraders.com, has a lot of info to do with its fiber. Hemp Technologies produces hempcrete, which is a building material used in homes and other buildings. EcoChoice's Green Store produces hemp mattresses, which are mildew resistant and rather long lasting due to the nature of the fiber. Earth Divas produces hemp bags and other products. Hemp Sisters produces hats, bags, soap, and twine. Hemptown produces apparel, and Enviro Textiles also produces apparel and fabric.